What is going on, everybody? It's the one and only Q from Retro Q Gaming, as always. We're in a little bit of a weird situation right now, so do please give me 1 second, because I need to try to get something working, started up, as always, the good stuff. And then we will talk a little bit about the PC gaming show of E3 2018. So, like I said, bear with me 1 second, and we can get going. What up, Luke? Welcome, welcome. So, before we get going, before we go anywhere, I do want to say this. There was a, let's call it an awkward situation, an awkward scenario earlier, where just before the Square Enix conference, when I was actually supposed to stream it, I turned it on, and I went to stream it, and boom, all my stream settings shit out on me, and I couldn't edit them for some reason. I clicked all the buttons, I did all the stuff, but I couldn't actually change any of the options, and I couldn't stream the conference, which pissed me off because it was about 10 minutes before it started. So I did record it and upload it separately, but what I promised to do at that time was to learn the basics of a new type of software just to get these done. And here I am using OBS, because now I never had anything against OBS, I just never got around to learning it. So there may be some questionable stuff. You guys need to let me know how the volume's going, because I mean, it's a new software thing for me, so I do need to know that. I need to look in here. It looks decent, it looks decent. So just let me know how the volume levels are, because like I said, it's new software, I'm just learning how to use it. Balance might be off, things might be all over the place. So we'll see how it goes. You're hyped for Halo Infinite, Luke. I don't blame you, because don't forget that will be coming to PC, which is pretty badass when it comes down to it. Audio is good, nice one. Let me know again when the actual conference starts, because I am going to have to adjust this volume here on the fly, because, you know, in-game sound effects and in-game presentations and talking and stuff and all that good stuff. So what do I expect from the PC gaming conference? Well, unfortunately, usually not much. However, there's a catch, which we'll get to now in a second. So there's usually nothing crazy or nothing big or nothing major really announced at these. I mean, other than, yes, I know the billion-dollar franchise that is Lawbreakers was really shown properly, and Cliffy B went into detail at the PC gaming show, so we're obviously so lucky about that. But usually there's not much, and we've seen the list. Well, I assume you guys have seen the list too. I'm not going to go over it, because if you haven't seen it, I don't want to give away what's actually there. And when they've shown off the people and the companies and the representatives and all that are talking for this, it didn't really look anything too spectacular. There looked like a couple of things that... Whoa, hang on.
The PC Gaming Show is just a few minutes away, where we'll reveal all new trailers and gameplay footage you haven't seen before for the first time. But before we get started, here's a warm-up.
What's going on?
The Great PC Gaming Quiz brought to you.
Oh, it's their usual little... I forgot they have
the next 10 minutes of tough trivia. I've got my buddy Webster.
An intro. Anyway, so we're not going to worry about this, because it's a duck. History. Anyway, so
and if you're watching along at home,
there's probably going to be some other non-important stuff. Oh, what up, Jordan? Welcome. I didn't think you'd be here for anything bar the Nintendo conference. So, there is one big important thing that I want to talk about. You know what, let me turn this chick down a bit. Let me go and set the scene for you. So there was the list that they gave us of people who would be at this presentation, giving talks, giving whatever it was. And most of the stuff wasn't anything spectacular. And they did say there'd be a few unannounced guests with some new surprise announcements. Now, earlier on today, it was brought to my attention that something had changed on a certain website. This was a couple of hours ago. This was maybe about 5 or 6 hours ago when this was brought to my attention. I went and looked at it myself. I took 2 separate screenshots of it. One on my phone, on the mobile website, and one on my computer, because I wanted to crop it out and look a bit better rather than just take the entire full-on screenshot. So, this has since been changed and been reverted, but this is going to be it should be at least anyway one of the biggest things. So watch this. I'm going to bring this up right now on my computer. And you can see it here. This was taken directly by me from the Microsoft official website earlier on today. Halo 5 Guardians available now exclusively on Xbox One and Windows 10. Now this has since been changed. The exclusively on Xbox One and Windows 10 is now gone. So what I'm thinking is this accidentally went live earlier. You can't download it on PC, you can't buy it on PC, you can't do anything. Even when it said get it now, when you click down to it, it brought you to the Xbox One versions. So I think this is being announced tonight at this show. Because, like I said, this screenshot I took direct from the Xbox official website. So it's not like something like that accidentally gets made and put on there. So I am expecting Halo 5 PC announcement tonight during this show. Now, other than that, what else are we gonna have on here as well? We might see a little bit of Doom, new Doom, Doom 2. We might see some anything new Bethesda stuff. They might show off basically any multi-plat when it comes down to it. We might see something along the lines of what's the other game I'm looking for? Oh no, I can't remember it. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That's it. We might have some Shadow of the Tomb Raider stuff on there. We might have, because the reason I say that is Nvidia are already hyping up Shadow of the Tomb Raider as GameWorks features. They're already putting out 4K 60 FPS videos of the PC version of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So naturally they're going to want to show that stuff off. So they'll have that, most likely. They might have Beyond Good and Evil 2, which I heard got shown tonight as well. I didn't watch the Ubisoft conference because lol, Ubisoft. What else could there be that's big and of note? Well, I hope Microsoft does come back with a little bit more info of... Wait a minute. No, Age of Empires actually released. You know what? Let me see. Age of... Oh no, it is out. Is it? Yeah, okay, it is out. Never mind. Maybe they could come out with an expansion for it or something. We don't know, but I do wanna reiterate one more time that let me reiterate this. This is the big deal and the big focus of tonight. This is what I'm expecting to actually happen. Because, like I said, I took this from the official Halo 5 Xbox page earlier. So, something like that doesn't just accidentally happen. And just for the sake of it, we're going to go back. And I'm going to show you how this has changed back real quick before it starts. So, Halo 5 Guardians.
I'll go in and get my coat, shall I? Next question.
Oh, okay, that's the standard page.
Universally considered a light gift by all villagers in Stardew
See?
Valley.
Look at it here now. It's changed at the bottom. Like, let's look at my screenshot. Under available now, exclusively on Xbox One and Windows 10. And I took this about 5 or 6 hours ago. And now look at the actual website right here. We have nothing about that. So I think it went live and got leaked early. So, now I'm hyped for that, because believe it or not, while Halo 5 isn't the best game, it's probably not a bad game. It has a bad narrative. The gameplay is fine, and I really enjoy Warzone Firefight. To play it on PC at 120 Hz with max settings, and most importantly, a quality FOV. Hell yeah. So I'm hyped for that.
That one I always see in crazy base jumping videos on YouTube.
Okay, Luke, I can agree with that as well. Now, what I will say, right, while you mentioned that, you know, Halo 5 on PC, you'd rather have 2 and 3 on PC, this opens up a step forward when you think about it. When you think, okay, if they're putting on the Master, or not the Master Chief, if they're putting on Halo 5 Guardians onto PC, and they're currently working on fixing Master Chief Collection, because it's still not 100%, they're still doing the Xbox One X fixes and upgrades and whatnot. Look at it this way. once the Xbox One X version is complete, as in all the fixes are done, all the matchmaking is fixed, all the net code, all that's fixed, as well as all the resolution boosts, the higher quality assets, the graphical settings, etc. That's the perfect complete version to just dump over and run on PC. So I think it's promising, at least anyway.
But I'm going to get this next question right.
Not to mention, if it had crossplay, which it most likely would, that gives you an even bigger player base than just players on the Xbox. Now, more importantly, they better be Xbox Play Anywhere, because I have a digital copy of the Master Chief Collection, and I have a digital copy of Halo 5 Guardians, so I want to be able to download them for free. And just in the odd chance that, for some magical reason, that Halo 5 Guardians, the leak I saw earlier and took a screenshot of and showed us, just if that is for some reason real, which it should be. I'm like 99.99999% sure that's real. I already freed up space to download it. I looked at it, I was like, okay, I need space. And I was thinking, this game is like 105 gig on my Xbox. I need to free up some space. So I went into all my video files and whatnot. Oh, this is A, by the way. It's based on Fables, because I'm actually reading the Fables story, or the Fables graphic novel. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I went in, I deleted like 25, 40, what was it, 20-something gig of video from Detroit Become Human, and I deleted like 60-something gig of Left 4 Dead 2 footage that I don't want to use anymore.
C. Private Martin or D. Private Ingram?
Wow, I don't know. Davis?
The answer is C. Private Martin.
I haven't played original Call of Duty in forever. Well, we got 1 minute left to go anyway, so hopefully this is good. Unfortunately, we are going to be subjected to something absolutely horrible. We have the same host as every year on this show, which is I think his name is Day 9 or Player 9 or something. He's a terrible host in my opinion. I mean, I really dislike his style. I didn't watch the Devolver Digital show from this year, but when you remember Devolver Digital show from last year, he was basically that, but trying to be serious and unironic. So, see, if it's 105 gigs, you could download it, but you have like 600 gigs left on this computer. Well, I have 1.5 terabytes in this computer, but most of it is already taken. Like, my 1 terabyte game drive has like 30 gigabytes left on it. And my main drive, which I use for 1 or 2 other things as well, like a specific game, I need to uninstall a bunch of stuff off Steam, basically. But for Halo, I mean, we've got 50 seconds. I can quickly log into Steam and we'll have a look, just to prove my point. I have a couple of big games on Steam that I'm not playing right now. I could easily uninstall some stuff from here. Go away, EA or E3. Like, I can uninstall Tales of Cestiria, Unreal Tournament, The Witcher. The Witcher's a big game. Ni no Kuni, 20-something gig, I believe. I could uninstall Nier. I don't want to uninstall Final Fantasy 15 because that's too big to re-download. Skyrim, I can get rid of. I can afford space, basically. So, I'm hopeful on that front. Now, having said all that, let's stop worrying about my Steam, because we have 12 seconds before we're in the real deal, the actual show and all that stuff. No, Jordan, I didn't watch Ubisoft. I read up 1 or 2 highlights on it because I'm not an Ubisoft guy. I actually hate them, and luckily I didn't watch it. Magic, because it doesn't seem to be anything important.
It says, don't just obey the rules.
I love it. Someone has a diva mod in Doom.
Listen to stories. Inhabit them.
Also, let me know, guys, because this is the first test run with the new software.
Overclock beyond them.
Let me know.
It says, don't just play games.
If I'm too loud,
revel in them.
If the
unleash them.
Background stream is too loud, what's the deal?
Is every game battle royale now, or is it just me? From mountaintops to dungeons.
Yeah, Ubisoft suck,
from
basically.
Deep waters to deeper space. From solo quests to mass engagements, there is magic in PC gaming. Let's
West is
celebrate
loading.
that magic together.
I remember
This is the PC gaming
Kingdom
show.
of Loading. Way back in the day when it was just launched. Play it in the browser. So here we go. The PC Gamer presents PC
And
Gaming
now
Show.
your host, Sean Platt.
Oh, hello to everyone
Yo.
online. Hello to everyone at the
It's
Will Turn. Welcome
Mr.
to
Cringe.
the PC Gaming Show. Yes. My name's Day9. I'm your host today. I am
Day9, that's
delighted to be here. We have a fantastic show for you this afternoon.
I don't know what he's from.
First, to all of you who came out to the Will Turn, thanks for joining us. The Will Turn is just a beautiful venue here in Los Angeles. To all of you online on Twitch, thanks for joining us. To those co-streaming partners, hey as well, I'm talking to you, Dropped Frames. Great to have you here.
Wow.
And of course,
Who drops
to all the
frames?
wonderful
Seriously.
sponsors that help make the PC Gaming Show come back again for the 4th straight year.
It's funny.
Now,
They wanted feedback on the PC Gamer website about the show this year, and I put in a comment about
here this year. I have my co-op partner up in the balcony. It's
considering-
Frankie Ward joining us today. How's it going, Frankie?
Hey, Sean, I'm going to be up here in the balcony with a bunch of creative new PC games coming your way.
Okay, so
From
ignoring her
Warfare's
for a
latest
second,
update to
I
the
put in a
completely
comment
gems.
about consider changing the host. It got a
Frankie,
shitload of
we
likes
are
until it
so
got deleted
excited
by
for the show to get
staff.
started. We have over 30 games we're going to be looking at across the next 90 minutes. So let's get it underway.
90 minutes,
Our
not
very
bad, hour and a
first
half.
title is from Coffee Stain Studios. Their game has absolutely massive construction as well as automation. Let's take a look at Satisfactory.
Okay, I've never heard of this game. I've actually, it's probably makes sense, it's a world exclusive. I've also never heard of the studio that I can recall. Oh, I wasn't expecting it to be a No Man's Sky clone. Visually, it looks a lot better than No Man's Sky, but that's not hard. Goat Simulator. Oh, it's the Goat Simulator devs. Okay, Duke. I didn't realize that. Thanks for that. So, they do have a little bit of experience. Okay, so it's No Man's Sky x Minecraft. Although it actually does look considerably better. It does look semi-interesting. Especially the way you cooperatively build all the stuff. It could be decent. Yeah, I've never played Goat Simulator. That's why I don't understand it. Or not so much don't understand it, but I didn't recognize the name. So I'm just waiting for something crazy and something funny to happen. Just so they can put in a Goat Simulator style thing. One thing I like about this so far is usually when you're looking at big building games like this, with the exception of maybe Minecraft, although that has creative mode, so that's still 50-50. When you have big construction-based games like this, they're usually like big far-out games. As I won't call them simulator games, but God Sim games to an extent. This one seems a bit more hands-on with the first-person aspect and possibly having to get everything, all the materials and whatnot. And it did seem very interesting and curious to travel around your whole place in first person in real
The
time.
game director at Coffee Stain Studios, it's Oscar Gilsayan.
Oh my God, it's Oscar!
Come here, Oscar. Welcome to the stage. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, Oscar, I just want to begin right away by asking, what is Satisfactory all about?
Building.
Satisfactory is essentially about building these huge automated factories. So you play as an engineer that's been sent from Earth to this alien planet, and you're going to build this enormous machine. It was hinted at the end of the trailer there.
Yeah.
And to build that, you need a whole ton
I
of
noticed
parts, which you need to build machines that will make them for you.
His
So you'll
Twitter
start out
handle
pretty
was
simple,
satisfactory
with
AF.
few machines.
Satisfactory
and
as
then you'll
fuck.
just expand and expand and expand until you finally need to start cutting down trees and replace them with like more convenient concrete.
More
And you know,
convenient concrete.
for people who haven't played this type
Everyone
of
loves
game, can you give me
concrete.
an example of what producing a more advanced resource might look like?
Right. After a while, you'll need to create something more advanced, like a computer, for
Yeah.
example. And at that point, you'll have some copper stuff set up, your wires and cables. But to
Yeah.
make plastic, you need to get some oil. So you need to go out and you need to find this oil, build some oil pumps and oil refineries, and set up a transport with self-driving vehicles between the outpost and your factory.
This game actually
I wanna
does
talk
start
about that
sounding
scale,
really
because
good.
you know, there's a lot of games where you build a house or a small town. How much area are we talking about where all your factories will exist?
Oh, this factory will grow enormous. The main part, which will probably be the biggest, will start spreading more and more and more. Or in some cases, we'll have players just building these massive, tall buildings with factory floor upon factory floor. But including the resources that you need to gather from basically all around the map.
Yeah.
So you'll have
Online
vehicles spreading
co-op
all
is going to
over.
be interesting for this
Now, I
one.
want to ask about the first-person perspective because these types of games typically are top-down.
You
Why
see,
first-person?
he mentioned it, the first
We
person
wanna
and
it
the
to feel like
perspective.
the player's the one building the stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, when you build, you've built a bunch of stuff, you can see these enormous buildings, these structures towering above you. But also when you go out and explore, you'll be the one, like, you go through the underbrush and in the jungles and whatever.
I mean, in the trailer, it even looked like there's a lot more to explore, like different environments and biomes.
Yeah. The map is, we made a point to make it big and varied.
Yeah.
And it's about 30 square kilometers in size, so it's kind of enormous.
Wow.
30 square
One final
kilometers.
question. I saw
So that's
multiple
probably about like
engineers
5
there.
by
How does
6.
multiplayer work?
Oh, it's a co-op
pretty
game.
good.
So you'll basically.
I'm trying to
you'll
think of the
start
size
up
of
a
other
server
games by
and play with your
comparison.
friends.
Great. Now, tell us, how do we get our hands on this game?
So we got a closed alpha planned in the coming months. So you can sign up for the alpha at satisfactorygame.com. And yeah, then you'll know.
Well, great. Oscar, thanks for joining me on
I'm
stage.
gonna sign up
once
for that, to
again.
be honest.
That is satisfactorygame.com. Now, up in the balcony, Frankie, I understand you have our very first indie title of the day.
We do indeed, Sean, because here's something we love about the PC platform. It's such fertile ground for creative ideas from small teams. NeoCab is an emotional
See them
survival
walking
game
off in the
set in the
background.
future about gig labor, tech disruption, and the experience of being a driver for hire. Perhaps the last of your kind. From the brand new indie studio Chance Agency, let's watch the first gameplay trailer for NeoCab.
So is this a taxi driver simulator? In the futuristic taxi driver simulator. Also, CD Projekt Red better be here. Oh, this is not what I was expecting whatsoever, but I do like all the neon. I didn't know NeoCabs were still around. Also, just so everyone knows, people are already freaking out and typing in anger at this game simply because you control a woman in it. So people are already freaking out. So you get to be an Uber, basically. You get to be a futuristic Uber. So it's more than just a... I don't know, this sounds weird. Then again, it is an indie game. They're known for that.
Now, our next game, believe it or not, is in the Battle Royale genre. Of course, it's
Don't worry,
2018.
Jordan,
What do you
that
expect?
happens a lot in the PC
we have
gaming
several
show.
Battle Royale games we're going to be talking about today because the Battle Royale format is very simple and very flexible. Players play in an ever-shrinking space until there's one last standing. So developers have already
not
been
too
doing
happy about
all
that.
kinds
Multiple
of different
Battle Royale
explorations
games.
of what this could possibly be. And our very first Battle Royale game that we'll be introducing today has up to 1,000 concurrent players. It's from Automaton Games. Let's look at Maverick's Proving Grounds.
Wait a minute. It depends on what way you look at that. I was gonna go, whoa, 1,000 players. But that just reminded me of if it's 1,000 players in a game at once, or if it's in like just a closed, a very small closed ecosystem that they're testing. Okay, so far it looks like every other battle royale game. I was gonna say battle simulator. But if it's got destruction, that's at least its own gimmick and hook. That could be interesting, especially because if you see it be implemented into the bigger games, you know where they stole it from. Pop. Does it have dynamic weather? Well, the graphics are certainly better than any other simulator. Why do I call them simulator? Battle Royale games out there. But that's not really saying much. Mavericks. Proving Grounds. Okay.
Joining me on the stage to talk about Mavericks Proving Grounds is the CEO of Automaton Games. It's James Thompson.
Now he'll have to actually elaborate on what the gimmicks are. Well, CEO of games. Hi.
James,
I really hope his voice breaks when he talks.
Now, I want to immediately ask, what about Mavericks Proving Grounds distinguishes itself from other Battle Royale games?
Yeah, well, as you said, it's a very popular formula, and you know that last man standing kind of game type is incredibly compelling by itself. But Mavericks is really about depth. You know, we've already talked about 400 players before, and we're sort of super excited today to talk about our 5-man squad mode being 1,000 players.
Did he say?
But really, it's
okay.
about
Okay,
depth
so
as well.
it
It's about
is.
the fact that that environment is even.
It is 1,000 players. That's pretty good. And I think what was the other one he said? 400 versus 400.
Zoom in right on the 1,000 players aspect. How does that really shift the dynamic from the say 100 that we're typically used to?
Well, it's really about combining scale with the depth of simulation. So the fact that together, what you actually have is a landscape that means you're making decisions off a lot more information.
The map will need to be
huge. We've hinted at that twice now. Like, what do you mean by there's a lot more information in the environment for players to process?
So take a concrete example, right? So let's say a player's walking through the map, they'll be leaving footprints, they'll be displacing foliage, like grass bending. But you know, siege-style gameplay in houses, that's like a lot of destruction systems that sort of together make the map much more of a dynamic environment.
It's like a recent history of who could have been
so
here.
the destruction style is definitely interesting as well.
For Mavericks Proving
Or
Grounds.
not.
I understand that this is a lot more out-game
Interesting
features
is
than someone might expect.
Yeah, so it's not just
a
that
loose
session-based
term.
gameplay. You enter the game through the capital, which is our sort of persistent social hub. So we draw from the MMORPG side of things. It's really it's a full world, not just a map. You know, so it's got a persistent game type side to it too. Yeah. But really it's about bringing this all together into something which makes a much richer MMO experience.
Now, where can people go to find out more?
Well, we've just launched our site right now, so if you're interested in signing up for the closed beta, you can do that now at mavericks.gg/closed-beta. And actually, if you register this week, you'll get special in-game content for free from E3.
Well, awesome.
And we have only 100,000 slots for the first group signing up, so
that
will give you some beta access.
Did he say only 100,000? That's very ambitious for him. Now, I'm not personally interested in Battle Royale games, so if any of you guys are, let me know if this looks like
game helps showcase the extraordinary power of modders. Frankie, tell us about it.
It does indeed, Sean. On PC, we don't just play what's given to us. We mod games to make our own
Oh yeah, we play everything.
And for many developers, modding is a way to turn a hobby into a career. The Forgotten City is the perfect example. It's a standalone game that's a reimagining of a wildly successful mod. In fact, the first mod in history to win a National Writers Guild Award. For the first time ever, here's gameplay from the Forgotten City.
What's that a mod for? Or what's the original mod based off? if it's the first mod to ever win an award, it must be old school.
I'm so sorry you had to find me like this.
Of the award-winning mod. Maybe it's of the same name.
Fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place. An ancient underground city. Its existence long forgotten. Searching for a way out. All I found is a window into the past.
It's not Tomb Raider anyway.
If even one person here commits a sin, everyone will die. I tried to set things right, but whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. It's all up to you now.
Something to do with King
back,
Midas, I think.
Investigate. Talk to everyone. Help them out if it'll win their trust. Bend the rules as far as you can. Figure out who's responsible for this. And maybe you can do what I never could. Save these people. Save yourself.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
I don't recognize the original
Coming up
work
on
at
the
all.
PC gaming show. What's next for Killing Floor 2? And an unannounced game from Tripwire Interactive. And now your host,
Tripwire
Sean
rings a bell.
Plott.
Our next game is a blast from the past. It's not a sequel or prequel or remake, but rather an entirely new game altogether. Let's take a look at Stardoc's Star Control Origins.
That's a lot of stars.
Long ago, the Singularity formed, its creators uplifted into something beyond our understanding. These beings, now known as the Lexites, left Earth, traveling to multiple planets in our solar system, before vanishing altogether. This is why we are here. Welcome to Star Control, a state-of-the-art international space agency tasked with the exploration
I have a
of our
feeling it's
solar
going to be
system and the defense of Earth.
I won't say a real-time
Here
strategy
resides
game,
the world's brightest minds and greatest technology,
like a
brought together
galactical
by a strong curiosity to
galactical, is that a word?
discover the
A
unknown.
galactic exploration
Help us
game and
pioneer
colonization
the
game.
future. Join today.
They can get that sweet 80s vibe though.
Star Control has accelerated the construction of our new modular deep solar system vessel.
Oh my god, it's a
specifically
mobile
for this
game.
mission. It's the fastest, most expensive ship humanity has ever made, Captain.
I am Chief Viscosity Officer Windu of the Tyrone. This
I wonder if he has a
drive
purple
had
lightsaber.
evidently received traces of your radio broadcasts themselves.
I like the weird Borg. Oh no, open universe, it's No Man's Sky.
Alien in a delightful new spaceship.
You must be humans. We've heard so much about you.
Star Control Origins. Wait, wasn't there another star something in the name? Oh, maybe
Joining
it's
me to
from
talk about
Stardock.
Star Control is the Director of Production at Stardock, Patrick Shaw. Thanks for joining me on stage today, Patrick.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
So now just tell us
Oh, that
straight
looked
up,
like a real
what is Star
awkward.
Control
Went for a
all
handshake
about?
that didn't
So
happen.
Star Control is an open universe action RPG. You can visit dozens of aliens, hundreds of different stars, thousands of different unique planets, and you can land on each and every one of them. And when you're driving around the planets, you can jump over canyons, blast critters, and then you can venture out into the solar system and do ship-to-ship combat with hostile aliens.
And I want to ask, since I know that the story is a big part of this game, with it being open
Reminds me a
world,
lot of
how do you
Mass
make sure that the
Effect.
story still stays as the focus for the player?
Yeah, so we're really excited about the story.
At
that
least
we
the
prepared for
space-based
Star
stuff.
Control. It's funny, it's creative. but also has some dark, sinister side to it. However, what we're very proud and very excited about is we have an infinite universe. That is, we are fully simulating the entire universe at all times. So even if you're on some podunk little moon in the corner of the universe, the aliens are still moving around the universe, doing their own thing, exploring and interacting with each other.
So it's not just like at a planet, there's the same town whenever you visit it.
It's No Man's Sky X Mass Effect.
Right, exactly. So this is this infinite universe is the glue that connects my story, my adventure, to the larger open galaxy.
That's awesome. Now, I know modding is going to be a big part of Star Control Origins. How does modding work?
So what's your favorite science fiction show?
Probably Firefly.
Yeah, so what would you think of making Firefly Season 2?
Shit, that's a lot of pressure, Patrick.
Well,
you're putting me on the spot on stage.
Firefly's
right
good
now,
stuff, guys.
We have a week to do it, so. But anyways, in Star Control Origins, you can create your own ships, your own planets, your own galaxies. You can package up your adventures and share them with your friends online.
So someone else can take care of Firefly Season 2. That's up to you. Now, last thing I want to ask about is how multiplayer works.
Right. So in the game, we have ship-to-ship combat, and that turned out to be so popular in our early testing. They're like, we should make this a separate gameplay mode. So we did. We called it Fleet Battles. So you can create your own
separate
ships,
mode?
build them out of different pieces and parts.
I don't think that's a good idea. Now, I'm not a game developer,
and then you
but
go online to play them. You can either play local multiplayer, 2 people on the same machine, or online, ranked online play.
Where can people go to pick up Star Control Origins?
Well, right now, Star Control Origins is available for pre-order on GOG and Steam.
Well, lovely. Guys, definitely be sure to head over to starcontrolgame.com and check them out.
Be sure to head over to
as well.
And one more
Star
thing,
Control.
We are happy to announce at the PC Gamer Show that Star Control Origins is launching on September 20th, 2018.
Look for it on September 20th.
So it's going to launch in a few months. Not my kind of game. Something I used to play very similar games in the 90s.
Game was PC Gamer's favorite game from E3 last year. It is Hunt Showdown from Crytek. Let's take a look at what's coming for Hunt Showdown just after E3.
Because, you know, Crytek make such good games, and they're not well renowned for making games of questionable quality and really just making their name and their money off their engine. I can already feel it. This is going to be a battle royale game. Big monster, big monster. Big monster. Now, I don't remember anything of that from last year.
I am here with Guy from Skydance, who's here to tell me why fighting in massive mech suits is not about to go out of fashion anytime
How have you
soon.
never heard of Crytek, Luke?
Now, Hellfire, in fact,
They made
sorry,
Crysis 1, 2, and
was
3.
originally a
They've made
single-player
Rise
narrative game,
on
but
the
Hellfire,
Xbox
this new
One
edition,
and
what changes is that
PC.
gonna make?
Well, players really loved the single-player narrative, but they all kept telling us the same thing. They said, we really want it multiplayer, and we want it off-rails. And we kind of thought, that's a completely different game, but let's give it a shot. And so we got a crack team together. They put something really special. We got 4 maps. We got 6 different mechs, tons of weapons where you could just blast through the environment and other mechs alike.
What game is this?
And it's really just an amazing experience. You can zip around in your mech. You can tower over others. It's just something special.
Hopefully they show us a little bit.
Is this coming out of early access? So you just said we can try it right now, but you've got the full version launching soon, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's coming out in July 17th. But you can try it right now if you want in early access. Help us iron out the kinks and break some mechs along the process.
I am no good at ironing out kinks, as I think people at home can see, Guy. But as a heavy mech woman, I can't wait for you to be my light mech wingman in that 2v2 PvP. So let's take a closer look at Archangel Hellfire.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's them, Luke. They're the ones that make Crysis. Unfortunately, most of their games aren't actually very good, but their engine is very pretty. So that's kind of where they get their name and their money from. Or not their name, but their reputation. So this is basically a Mech Assault meets Arena Battle. problem is it's most likely also
Our next title is one I've been looking forward to for quite some time. It's from the makers of Sherlock Holmes, and it's a delightful-looking Lovecraftian mystery.
Oh, Lovecraftian mystery. We're already out.
And joining
I'm already
me to talk
asleep.
about it is the community manager at Frogwares, Sergey Oganessian. Welcome, Sergey. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
You've earned a handshake.
Yeah, you know that pronunciation.
You've earned a handshake. Just after the previous guy didn't get one.
So kindly. You know, I want to ask right away, the Sinking City, you know, there's a lot of open world third-person type games. What makes the Sinking City different from what a player might expect?
Well, I mean, the Sinking City is an open world action investigation game inspired by Lovecraft. And we believe that these three elements already make the game pretty unique. And you know,
pretty unique,
you
know, like every other Lovecraft game out there.
In a world, in a supernatural world full of mystery and, you know, cosmic fear. Like,
spoiler
I really
alert, Lovecraft is overplayed and boring.
Of the Sinking City.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of games in the open world genre that are focused on action, but you say investigation is at the core. What are investigation mechanics? What does it look like?
So the first thing you should know right off the bat is that we are not going to offer any hand-holding for the player. We will not give you any clear objectives in your diary or markers on the map telling you where to go or what to do. It's actually up to you to figure that out. Instead, we will give you information, you know, hints, evidence, like clues, crime scenes to examine, like people to talk to, suspects to question. And we will ask you in return to use your wits and your intuition to, you know, experiment with your findings, you know, maybe like find a way how to progress. And what you should also know is that finding these clues will not only help you understand what's going on and, you know, get a better understanding of the world.
Well, that bit does sound a lot better.
Maybe change the course of your investigation.
You know, you mentioned the world itself, and I mean, the footage that I've seen through the years has just been
I'm a big fan of games with no hand-holding.
The world that we're in and what investigation is at the core.
So the game takes place in this fictional city of Oakmont in the state of Massachusetts. You know, the city which is flooded. There is a terrible disaster going on which has claimed like thousands of lives. And also, like, it seems like it awakened frightening monsters which now roam the streets of Oakmont. You know, people that live in the city, they are very different, like different social classes.
Dead Space.
Gangs, cultists, poor people, rich people, but they are all united by fear. You know, they are all afraid, maybe except for the cultists, of course. They are all afraid that, you know, for their lives because of the flood, because of the monsters. And, you know, we actually want to understand what's going on. We want to understand what lies behind this ostensibly supernatural flood.
Could be interesting.
What's even funny is that while everybody is afraid, nobody wants to leave. But this is kind of a different story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked a little bit about the story world and how it's inspired by Lovecraft. What about the game mechanics? You've mentioned the sanity mechanic in the past.
Indeed, we do have a sanity mechanic which directly impacts gameplay. You know, when our hero is under a lot of stress, when he sees like something supernatural, something disturbing, or even when he's making choices in the story which he's not comfortable with making, you know, he will begin to lose his sanity. He will start to have hallucinations, he will start to hear distorted sounds, which will allow the player to understand that something is actually going wrong. Maybe we need to, you know, step back and do something about that. As of right now, we're still fine-tuning this mechanic because we are still looking, you know, for this sweet spot between impact on the gameplay and impact on the story.
Since we're almost out of time, I still just have to ask, what are the sweet monsters that we're going to get to see?
Oh, I thought you was going to ask for
the release date. We have different kinds of monsters. We have different kinds of archetypes, you know, with different abilities. And, you know, we actually give you tools. The game is not about fighting monsters. Investigation is the core of the game. But we give you tools to defend yourself. So we give you weapons, we give you skills, we give you even certain, like, traps. In return, we ask you that you make a decision, because the game is about making a decision. Ammunition is scarce, and you will have to adjust your tactics accordingly.
So I know a lot of people have all sorts of questions about what the game is like. Where can they go to find out more information?
So if you're hungry for more, you can always follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. This is where we post our updates regularly. Facebook, The Sinking City Game, YouTube, Frogwares. So go there, and like, this is definitely the place to go if you want to learn more.
Well, I'm super excited to personally see how it turns out. Thanks for joining me on stage, Sergey. The Sinking City. Now, our next game is a PC title that has only gotten better over the last few years, and I'm always excited to hear what they have in store.
What is it?
Frankie is up on the balcony.
Give us some real details with it.
Warframe. Talk to me,
Oh,
Frankie.
Warframe.
Well, we all know the PC is home to some of the most devoted communities in gaming, and one of the best undoubtedly belongs to Warframe. Last year, the game got its first open-world update, Plains of Eidolon, and the next epic cinematic quest is called The Sacrifice.
I've never played Warframe. It's not my kind of game. But I didn't even realize they made an open world side of it. no dancing Ubisoft pandas is. I didn't watch the Ubisoft press conference. Was there dancing pandas for like Just Dance or something? It seems like something they do. They usually have musical numbers and whatnot. But yes, us PC gamers, we're civilized, more refined people. We have more eclectic tastes and more refined mannerisms.
Megan Everett, Community Manager at Digital Extremes, joins me now. Megan, tell me more about The Sacrifice.
So The Sacrifice is the latest installment of our cinematic quests. It continues a story that we started in The Second Dream, continued with The War Within.
Tell us a little bit about the story for those of us who don't know.
At the end of last year, we kind of shattered some hearts and left them with a bit of a plot twist, and I'm not going to spoil it for people who want to maybe catch up. But what I can say is that, obviously from the trailer that you saw,
some decent ink, though.
The wait for Umbra, the 3-year wait to the Umbra Warframe is finally over. The creepy guy at the end of the trailer there, Ballas, plays a pretty big role in this quest. And again, not going to spoil a lot, but I can say that it's coming this week on PC.
So did that give Warframe a single player?
Waiting, well, as well as the update, you're working towards TennoCon right now.
Yes, so it's going to be another big year for us, and I'm really excited for it.
Well, let's take a look at last year's event to get an idea of what TennoCon is all about.
What is TennoCon? Oh, okay, it's a convention.
What do you think the mega reveal at Tenno Live is going to be? Can you tell me anything about this Umbra thing that's maybe going on or whatever?
And the crowd goes wild. What they actually really are.
It was pretty amazing. Boo! It's a whole new direction.
Perturb Pedro for the loss.
You got all these other games coming out, but this one's free.
When's 2018 happening? Get it started.
Slightly upset Joe.
Given that the community manager is Auntie Megan, oh god, it must be huge.
Yes, someone who
really special for
who works at Ubisoft.
Really everyone that works at Digital
really
Extremes.
is probably a furry.
Pour their heart and soul
all sorts of dodgy stuff over there.
And I know for me, it was literally.
I mean,
the
they're
best
French,
day of
so.
my entire career. I know Rebecca, our community director,
it's probably all over
watching.
the place.
But last year, when we did the Plains of Eidolon, open world expansion reveal, Rev and I
yeah, no worries. I'll see you at the Sony one in a few hours. I'll still be here.
For months, and
hopefully
it
they
went
have something
as flawlessly as we could have ever hoped for. And we actually, as people were cheering, it's pitch black on stage. Rev and I look at each other and we just kind of fist pump and both started crying because we didn't crash the demonstration. So if you watch, if you watch Tenno Live this year, if you're there, you can definitely probably count on some tears and some emotions because it's a really big day for us.
So basically, bring tissues, right?
Bring tissues for yourself, for me, for everyone involved, because there will be some tears probably.
But if you can't get to TennoCon because unfortunately it is sold out, how can you watch it online?
So on twitch.tv/Warframe, you can definitely check it out. And PC Gamer is also hosting as well on their Facebook and Twitter.
And you get free stuff by watching Twitch?
You do. So if you want to link your Warframe account to your Twitch account,
everything is going this route at this point.
Fantastic. So that's
link your
from
everything
July 7th,
account to your Twitch account.
And you'll be able to watch TennoCon live
go
on
that way.
PC Gamer's Twitch channel and the Facebook page. Thank you, Auntie Megs. Sean, it's over to you.
Thank you, Frankie, and thank you, Warframe. The next name
Don't
is
worry,
one I grew up
NSC.
With, Sega. They've become a prolific publisher
we will
of Japanese
pretty much
games known for their fully featured ports,
Hold
especially
up.
beloved by this guy on the left.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Sega's bringing Shining Resonance,
Oh,
both
Shining
PC
Resonance.
and console the same day, and Shenmue is going to be coming later this year.
Yeah!
All sorts of games coming up. Let's take a look at what Sega's got.
I'm the Shenmue guy. You guys know that. So while this is playing real quick, I'll go over that here. We're pretty much, NAC, we're pretty much guaranteed to see a lot more footage for that at the Sony conference tonight. Because it does come out in February, so they're probably going to show it off some more. Shenmue! Oh yeah! I can't wait for that. I have 3 copies pre-ordered technically. Because I have it pre-ordered on Xbox One, on PS4, and I'm going to download it and play it on Steam. Now let's see what we got here. Us PC gamers are like rich people, always wanting better graphics, better FPS, more upgrades, and things like that. It's true, Luke. It's completely true. Wait, is that Yakuza? They're bringing Yakuza to PC. That means they're probably bringing Persona to PC. Come on. Or unless this is just a big Sega sizzle reel. Because this is Valkyria Chronicles 4, which is not announced for PC at the moment. Which I really hope it is. I really hope it does get announced for PC. Again, Yakuza is the same way. Yakuza is a game series that Sega have expressed interest in bringing to PC, but currently hasn't been ported over in any way, shape, or form yet. And then they got the retro classics. We all know about the Mega Drive collection. It is. They're bringing Yakuza over to PC. There it is. That's a big fucking deal for a lot of people.
Yakuza 0 is available for pre-order right now and will be releasing on Steam in early August. We hope you've been enjoying the show thus far.
I don't blame you,
so much
Josh.
More great stuff to come. Let's see what's coming up at this year's PC Gaming
There's
Show.
like a 10-hour version of that music looped on YouTube, Josh. So make sure you check that one out. Fall asleep to it overnight.
Reveals 3 new games.
That looked like Scott Pilgrim.
And the first ever gameplay footage of Overkill's The Walking Dead. And now your host,
oh god,
Sean Plott.
New Walking Dead game.
And I'm back.
Oh god. Josh, don't even get me started about the Atari VCS. It looks like a joke.
Show, having attended all 4 years,
looks like
Frank
a mess.
is with him up in the balcony. It's Tripwire.
Sean, if you are anything like me, you probably need to let off steam every once in a while. And
There's some guy like hidden
the
backstage there, see him?
like kicking back
he's
and
gone
tearing up a load of monstrous enemies. It's kind of either that or pushing the office photocopier out of the window, and I, for one, prefer the option that keeps me and everyone here
Tripwire is Killing
in a
Floor,
job.
isn't it?
With that in mind, I am thrilled to welcome Bill Monk from Killing Floor 2 back to E3.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Got a lot of fans in the audience still. Listen to that applause. They all want to know what the latest from Tripwire.
I'm trying to picture the UI in my head, but I can't remember it.
Floor, and we got
I've only seen small clips through other people's videos.
Coming out this year. The first one we dropped in March, and we're getting ready to drop the next one really soon.
Coming tomorrow, Bill. What's involved?
Yeah, so we're bringing the summer sideshow back.
Yeah, Luke, the new Walking Dead game is supposedly going to be very different.
And we have a really cool new system that we're adding. It's called the Weapon Upgrade System.
Survival Instinct or whatever it's called.
73 different weapons that we have in our game.
And obviously forget
you can upgrade it and make it viable for late play. So it really adds a lot of creativity to your loadout. So I'm really excited to get that in people's hands.
So you can make your boy guns big.
Yeah.
Wow. Your boy's bun's big. We know what she's thinking of.
Let's take a
Highly
look at the
inappropriate.
trailer for Treacherous Skies Summer Sideshow.
I don't think I've ever played Killing Floor 2. Part of me wants to say I may have. But still, anyway, before we go on any further, Yakuza coming to PC is a huge deal. Now, even though I haven't played the Yakuza series, there are tons of people out there. And back before they announced this and announced Shenmue coming to PC, also, I'm so happy that they're actually putting Valkyria Chronicles 4 on PC as well. Because Valkyria Chronicles 1 is on PC, and that's a fantastic port. But some of the biggest series they wanted to bring across were Shenmue, Yakuza, and Persona. So that's probably what's going to be next. And I'm sure you guys in the chat know I'm a huge Persona guy.
Time to put on a show! Yes, of daring deeds and horrendous bloodshed. Oh, for me, my mechanical children have turned against me.
What have we got here?
Blasted traitors!
Oh, the Telltale, yeah, what is it, Walking Dead final season, final series, something like that. And have I seen the new Assassin's Creed game? No, I saw some of the leaks and all from like last week or whenever it was, but I haven't seen any of the new official screenshots, or I haven't seen any. I mean, this guy's talking a bit much. But I haven't seen the new videos or trailers or reveal or anything, mainly because I'm not into Assassin's Creed.
On board and is set on giving Zed the business. And remember, we'll see you on the airship.
So I think that's huge. I mean, so far...
Joke for you. Optician says my eyes are okay. I say, then how do you explain my husband?
Oh, the
now,
humor.
As is tradition, the content that you just saw will be available tomorrow, including a free weekend for PC this weekend. Definitely check it out with Killing Floor 2.
But yeah, seriously, that Sega
has.
announcement is huge.
That's
crazy
John
to me.
Gibson on stage. John, welcome back again.
Thanks, Sean. Pleasure to be here.
Now, I understand that Tripwire is stepping into also doing publishing. What does that entail?
That's right. So, Sean, it's really challenging for developers right now with the thousands of games that are coming out every year. Yeah. It's really hard to get noticed.
The thousands of games that are coming out every week on Steam.
So we're giving developers fair deals.
Road Rash,
we're going to be helping them rise above that noise so they can get noticed. And because of our experience developing our own games and publishing
Game actually
our
looks
own
kind of
games,
cool.
we're going to help them with marketing, funding, mentoring, feedback to help them succeed.
Yeah, I mean, the game that we have on screen is one of those games. This is Road Redemption.
That's Road Redemption. Yeah, that's coming out soon.
We're going to be publishing Road Redemption. We're going to be helping them grow and succeed even more on Steam, but also bring the franchise beyond Steam.
That's the spiritual successor to
exclusive new
Road
game
Rash.
hasn't been announced
yet. We do. Nobody knows.
Before we roll the trailer, I was wondering if you could give me a little bit of a tease.
Yeah, so we're working with the team at Blindside Games, and they're led by Alex Quick.
Oh, yeah.
Neither of those two names.
If you're familiar with the Killing Floor
bell.
universe, you know Alex Quick was the modder that created the original Killing Floor mod, which Tripwire worked with Alex to bring commercial.
I've seen
and then Alex went off, assembled his own
the Elder
team.
Scrolls Blades
They
thing.
Depth,
I'm not really a fan of it because
very, very successful.
it's a mobile game.
Now it's come full circle. We're working with Alex again, and we're going to
more
bring
interested in
his all-new
Elder
game
Scrolls 6
to market.
Well, let's take a look at it right now. World exclusive new upcoming game from Tripwire.
So this is going to be interesting to see how it actually works and what kind of game this is going to be. Because this is world exclusive of a brand new game. Not just more Killing Floor 2 stuff.
Close your eyes and imagine a place where the sun is bright and the beaches are wide. A place filled with southern charm.
Southern charm, is that possible?
Is as warm as the welcome. So come feel the wind in your sails.
That's
Kick
sharks.
back and relax. Enjoy the local cuisine. Your dream vacation is waiting for you here on the Gulf Coast.
This actually looks kind of cool. So we have Gold Simulator. What's this? Shark Simulator? Jaws Simulator?
GameGame.com now to book your vacation. Operators are standing by.
Man-Eater. That actually looks kind of cool.
So hey, John, so you get to play as the shark.
You are the shark. This is an open world action RPG.
How is it?
Play as a shark.
Action RPG where you play as a shark.
Shark PG.
Oh,
Shark
nice. Okay, so
new genre, guys. Shark
so do you,
PG.
like upgrade and improve the shark? Is there like skill trees?
You do. There is a shark skill tree. Really? There is a full single-player campaign. You eat your way through it.
Yes,
you get bigger teeth. You can jump out
we don't
of the
know
water
what's happening with Dead Island 2 at the moment. It's been passed between different developers and whatnot.
Fantasy I needed so badly.
But Dying Light 2 looks really good.
Now, where can people go to get more information about it?
They can go to maneatergame.com.
All right.
I feel like
I doubt anyone will forget that here.
I feel like I'd be
That's maneatergame.com.
on some sort of list if I put it in maneatergame.com.
And once again, all the content that Tripwire showcased earlier about Killing Floor 2 and Road Redemption.
I really hope you don't mean the NES game, Josh.
Be sure to check it out.
I'm going to assume you mean the
I
think it was a PS2 or 360 game.
Unannounced games.
Here we go. Unannounced
Cheers,
games.
John. Man-Eater looking tasty there, and I can't believe they named a game after my favourite weekend activity. Indies are at the heart of PC gaming, and next up is a brand new publisher revealing 3 games for the very first time,
that one.
releasing one
So
of
did
them,
the crowd.
Behave Yourselves audience, today. So let's take a look.
Hi, we're Untitled Publisher. I wonder if their name is... Yeah, okay. I was going to say, is their name actually Untitled Publisher? So, what are we doing? Yes, they did say Shark RPG. I don't know if it was Shark RPG or Shark PG. But that is now officially the new genre of the year. I'm releasing one game right away. See, this is the cool thing about... Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of stuff wrong with modern gaming in 2018. In current year, as you will. But there are some cool things, like the ability to secretly develop a game and just announce it just like that after a big show. Oh, it's the... like Jet Set Radio meets Scott Pilgrim. I really like the art. What is it? What is this, like Pokemon? This is like the weirdest Pokemon turn-based thing I've ever seen. Reverie Network Online. Oh, I thought that was going to be their game that's out today. This looks familiar. He says as it looks like every other isometric. Oh, what's the name? I don't remember the name for that style. But apparently it's not an isometric booty indie game. What the hell? Is it like a simulation? It's a game within a game. Is it called Tenebris? Morningstar. That game actually piqued my interest. That was a pleasant surprise. I'm not a fan of games like this. Not because of the graphics or anything, it's just, it feels like they're usually not enough. Even though they are relatively modern with some decent amount of stuff in them. And no guys, these are not called Metroidvania games. It can be a Metroid game. Or a Metroid clone. I hate the term Metroidvania. Because it took, I think it was 10 I want to say it was 10 games in the Castlevania series to actually become that game and that one that they're talking about. A game by Rory O'Sullivan. So this guy is Irish of some sort. I feel obligated to play the game now.
All these games look like must-plays. And Overwhelm, the final game of the bunch, is available on Steam right now with a special launch discount. So make sure you check that out.
What the hell is itch.io?
And if you're at E3 this week, head over to the PC Gamer corner of the Facebook booth inside the South Hall to give Overwhelm a try. Right, next up, it's time for us all to take a holiday. And where better than a virtual resort with some truly spectacular wildlife? Back again this year, our friends of the show, Frontier Developments, with a unique take on the park management genre. I am,
is this Jurassic Park?
Talking about Jurassic World Evolution.
The Jurassic World. Yeah.
The long-awaited game is out tomorrow and lets you build your own dinosaur-stuffed tourist trap. What could possibly go wrong? Unleash the Goldblum!
The Goldblum. I can't do the Jeff Goldblum laugh, I'm sorry.
You think that things are going to turn out differently, huh?
Oh my god, it actually is Jeff.
Well, the ones before you did too. Because they believed that they were in control. And control... Well, here's the thing. Humanity is desperate for it. We are seduced by it. Deceived by the illusion of it. But we never really possess it. Because if there's anything that chaos theory has taught us...
Oh, Jeff is low for chaos theory.
Is on its own course. And when we interfere, when humanity tries to put nature into orderly boxes, chaos destroys them.
I kind of want to give this game a try.
And what makes us such unique creatures is knowing the scope and power of what we're up against and and still believing that we can win.
But I don't know enough about it, because what I do know about it
however,
makes it feel a bit basic.
What I would predict.
The music.
I am so excited for that game. Our next title is from Insomniac, who've been making amazing games for years, and they're going to try to take their expertise and answer the
Insomniac,
question,
what are they doing? Porting Sunset Overdrive to PC?
How do you make an open world game in VR? Let's take a
no,
look
in
at
VR.
their upcoming game, Stormland.
Wait, was it Insomniac that made... I think it was Insomniac that made that. But no, this looks completely different. And it's a VR game. Oh, the Sony fanboys are going to be so mad that they're putting out a game on PC. Oh my god, it's Johnny Five. That main guy looked like Johnny Five. Like, look at that face. Tell me that is not coming alive like Johnny Five. He's missing an eye. But what kind of game is it? I feel like it's going to be a bit like Satisfactory. Oh no, maybe it's not. Maybe it's a more exploration style game rather than a construction style game. What the hell? I can't tell if that's my stream or the game. We'll say both. By the way, if you're not familiar with it, firing guns in VR is fucking badass. I played Robo Recall. It's good stuff. Oh, okay, it looks like you've got to build up an army of robo buddies. Oh, that's a like giant colossus looking fish. I mean, you have to assault whoever took over and took you out. Has potential, especially if it's done by Insomniac. Some simulated gameplay. Well, that was a given, but I know they have to say it. Step into Rift.
Joining me to talk about Stormland is the Chief Creative Officer at Insomniac Games. Join me in welcoming Chad Desern.
He doesn't look much like a Chad.
Hey, Chad, welcome to the stage.
Thank you.
I want to start right away and ask, what is this game all about?
It reminds me a little bit of Cliffy B.
In Stormland, you play as an android gardener. And an entity called the Tempest uproots your habitat and shatters your android body. So you've got to travel to a civilization.
Well, we'll give it time, Josh. I'm sure the game's not finished. So I'm sure it'll...
and I want to ask what open world means.
They'll mix it up a little bit and make it look a little bit cleaner.
Giving the player the ability to explore the world freely.
But you're right, the density of foliage is pretty impressive.
That are designed,
especially for a VR game.
Yeah, because that's always a huge question I have is how does motion work in any VR title?
Yeah, well, in Stormland, you can do things like fly just above the slipstream with your outstretched android hands.
Yeah.
You can shoot a laser into the cloud surface.
Robot worm fish looks badass though.
climb up a cliffside, like literally launching yourself with your synthetic android strength, and then like push off and glide back down using your hands to control your descent.
It's massive freedom of movement, yeah.
That's it. It's this set of mechanics that are designed together to
that was
work
cool. He picked up the gun
fluidly so that
treasure
movement
chest
feels
like Borderlands.
exhilarating,
Yeah.
and you can kind of take the world at your own pace with it.
I'm curious why VR for this type of title?
There are a series of things that we're doing with Stormland that we could only do in VR. It's about the expressiveness of having tracked head and hands and how we use that for combat, how we use it for movement, even things like scavenging technology to attach it to your body.
I like how
you look down, you
developers
get a new
are
piece of
actually
tech and you
trying to
attach
do
it
stuff
right
with
into your
VR
arm.
still.
And then, suddenly you've got the ability to harness electricity or cloak yourself or
like I bought
an
an Oculus Rift at Christmas.
The art is just beautiful in the footage that we've seen. I wonder if you can talk to me a little bit
I don't have it
about
connected
the
up
world
right
and
now,
what it means for it to be
and I don't
ever-changing.
use it too often.
That's a really good question. So that entity called the Tempest,
but the potential
rearranges
for it is still
everything
really good. We just need more developers to
so
do
that
better
we
stuff
present
with
the
it.
player with new
It just takes time.
playgrounds of movement and combat.
It's a marathon,
and
not a sprint.
scavenging. And you never know what you're going to discover. So every single island you find has the potential to hide an enemy stronghold or a network of underground caverns or brand new tech discovery.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I got to ask, where can we go for more information?
Well, you can stay tuned by watching the Facebook and Twitter with at Stormland VR, or you can check us out at insomniac.games.
I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for joining me.
It sounds like he
Chad.
forgot
Once
his
again,
link, his Oculus.com.
Oculus.com/Stormland for more information. Frankie's up in the balcony with our next absolutely gorgeous-looking indie title.
It really
I
is,
tell you,
Sean,
just absolutely
because
gorgeous
next up we've got
developer.
a first look at a new game from publisher Raw Fury, a neo-noir detective drama featuring a Paris cabbie who finds himself drawn into a world of crime. Sacré Roddy Bleu. Yes, I speak French. I can't wait for
Well, I
this
heard
one,
neo-noir
so take a ride with the
detective
trailer.
story, so I like those words already. But it's world exclusive. Hopefully it looks good. Do I think we'll get Borderlands 3? I really hope they show Borderlands 3, Josh. I don't think they'll show it at this. I think because it's such a high-profile game, if we do see it this year, I think they will show it at the Sony conference later tonight. But I do really, really, really hope for Borderlands 3. We got some wub. This game is very interesting so far. I like games that are dialogue heavy. Like for example, there's a game on the old Nintendo DS called Hotel Dusk, and that's just basically a dialogue game. And this looks like it will be
If you like that last
good
game, you'll
variant.
definitely love our next one. It's from the exact same publisher, Raw Fury. It's an open-world, narrative-focused game with an incredible art style. Let's take a look at Sable.
All these buzzwords: open world, narrative, incredible, this, that, and the other. Yeah, I mean, we're just waiting for roguelike, procedurally generated, and what else do we have? Oh, I think we've seen this game already. I think they showed this off at the Microsoft conference yesterday. Or at least we saw a quick bit of footage about it. Maybe. The last night? Which one was the last night? I think I'm getting it mixed up with The Long Dark. What is this game? It's like it's trying to be Shadow of the Colossus or something. Mixed up with a little bit of different stuff. Not necessarily a bad thing. Sable.
Joining me to talk about Sable is pretty much the entire core development team on stage. It's Daniel Feinberg and Greg Kithriotis. I want to immediately ask, what kind of game is Sable? What can we expect?
Sable is an open
I need to see
world
this other guy's t-shirt.
game. It's not a game about combat or
Japanese
about leveling
breakfast.
up. It's a game about solitude, and it's a game about exploration. You play as Sable, a girl leaving her home to explore this world filled with monumental architecture,
Pixel art with 3D
fallen
A1
spaceships,
cyber.
and you'll travel around on your hoverbike, learning about the people, the culture, and the history.
I still can't place it.
World.
And you know, I talked about it before. I think this art style is amazing. Where's the origins of this?
So we were really heavily inspired by the clear lines style of French and Belgian comics, as well as Japanese animation, particularly Studio Ghibli. So we really want to feel feel the same sense of wonder that you get from watching one of their films. And so from the very beginning, we knew that we really needed to nail the visual style. And yeah, so we put a lot of time and sort of effort into our rendering system. And yeah, we're really pleased to be able to show it to everyone.
Yeah. And I mean, I know that you two consist of most of the core development, the art and the programming. What about the music that was in that trailer?
Yeah, so that was a new track by Japanese Breakfast.
Oh, yeah, the T-shirt. Yeah.
Oh, so it's a band, okay.
Michelle.
Person.
She is doing the soundtrack for the game. Japanese Breakfast is one of my favorite bands right now. It's incredible to have her on board.
It all just came together so beautifully in the trailer, and I know that you guys are really regular about updating, you know, blogs, sharing what's going on with the development. Where can people go to find more?
So they can go to our Twitter account,
That's his go-to line. Where can people go to find out more?
Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me. Once
he
again,
just reminds me of an Android.
Is Sable. Our next title is one that has been in development, even showing up in our very first PC gaming show. It's Cloud Imperium Games still hard at work on their title, Star Citizen. Let's see what they have
Star
in store.
Citizen, the game that's never going to come out and has hundreds of millions of dollars, but it's still never going to come out, and has Mark Hamill, I believe, but still never going to come out. All footage captured in-engine, so it's not real gameplay footage. I never say that to shit on the game, I just want to make people aware that it doesn't 100% look like that. Now, I have a bit of respect for the idea and the premise and what they're trying to do with Star Citizen, but there's a line, and to be honest, they go back and forth across it every day. I mean, isn't it Star Citizen where there's a isn't it Star Citizen where there's a microtransaction pack that costs like 21 grand and it gives you everything in the game? I mean, for something that's pre-alpha with hundreds of millions of dollars behind it, come on. I know they're paying for like real actors and multiple development studios and multiple development teams and whatnot, but come on. I know you're trying to be the most ambitious thing ever, but like Alpha 3.2, I mean,
coming up
that
on
says
the
it all.
PC gaming show. All new gameplay footage of Just Cause 4. A closer look at The Walking Dead. The final season. All new gameplay footage of Hitman. And now your host, Sean Plott.
Oh, that's right. There's a new Hitman.
Each year at the PC Gaming Show, in addition to talking about games,
I don't know why they
we're
call
also
it
gonna talk about
Hitman's
some of the
2
upcoming
because
hardware trends.
Hitman
Joining
2
me
already
talking about
exists.
it is the senior brand manager from Acer. It's Eric Ackerson. Thanks for joining me up here, Eric.
Sean, really excited to be here.
Now, I just want to straight up ask, what are some of the big trends that
Let's
consumers
see,
can be expecting?
one large ship and a few medium and small ones, but far from everything. Okay, I thought it was everything. I read somewhere that it was, but that's
to the next level. To help with
if
that,
it's like
one of our new
that
products
expensive.
is the Predator X27. It's an incredible gaming display.
Is this
For
the new one?
instance, It's 4K and 120 hertz refresh.
Wait,
the users can overclock to 144.
Yeah, 144.
What really takes
HDR.
it over to the next level is the inclusion of G-Sync HDR.
Yeah,
you know, I
this is
hear
the
a
one.
lot about HDR. Can you explain a little more in detail what that is and what that means?
Well, there's quite a bit that goes into it, but for the purpose of this conversation, the fact that there are 384 individual backlit zones, so the backlighting can be individually controlled, really bright, very dark. It makes a better contrast on screen. Each of them are individually controlled. The brightness of the screen is far above a typical display. Typical, you're looking at 300 to 400 nits. We're looking at 600 with the Predator X27 with a max of 1,000 nits.
There it is.
You know, some of the titles that were showcased just now, there's a wide variety of some photorealistic.
The problem with this monitor in question and the Asus variant of it as well, they're about $2,000.
Well, one of the big things that helps is the color gamut that's available with these displays. We're able to do 99% of the Adobe color gamut, so it's better representing the vision of the art director.
Yeah, and some of the games that you see on screen that support HDR, Mass Effect Andromeda, Far Cry 4, Ni no Kuni 2. Again, you won't see them in HDR right now unless you have an HDR monitor. It doesn't work that way. We can't just stream it to you. But, you know, it brings me to one of my next questions about PC gamers tend to have a huge range of possible budgets. What are the different sort of products to look for at those
See, this
price
is what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, we cover the gamut from very simple and to the point to high performance esports products or multi-view surround multi-display products, but we also go really crazy sometimes. We decide, we put our engineers to the test. What can you do if you have no limit? So one of the projects we've worked on is something called the Predator 21X. This is a 21-inch curved screen laptop with a mechanical keyboard and two graphics cards. Science. Materials. We did.
I like that.
But you know what? To be serious, it's not just a joke. We actually have to ship this with a Pelican case to protect the laptop, and it sells for $9,000.
Holy shit.
We sold every single unit we could make. So we cover every spectrum of gaming.
Holy fuck.
You know, you brought up this Predator laptop, you brought up
That's even more expensive than my PC, and this cost me $5,000.
Hear more about or even pick one up once they stop being sold out.
So that's the good news is that we're shipping now. Our customers, partners are selling them. The bad news is a few have already sold out of this new Predator X27 monitor. I believe Micro Center is still in stock. Amazon will be in stock again soon.
Well, thank you so much for joining
that
me
monitor
on
in question is
stage,
$2,000.
Frankie is awaiting in the balcony with
I made a video about that before, about those specific monitors versus OLEDs.
Ideas. In our next game, Genesis Alpha 1, you build and manage a space vessel, farm resources, deal with terrifying alien infestations, and explore a vast, randomly generated universe. Oh, and you can take DNA from the aliens you encounter across the galaxy, splice them.
I have a single GTX 1080, Josh. Yes, I have a GTX 1080 Founders Edition.
Greetings, Commander. You have been sent to
Now that's not going to push 100. That's not going to push 4K 120 hertz. I have no qualms about that.
Expand your ship and explore the galaxy for resources and interesting new life forms.
But I mean, give me an OLED 1440p 120 hertz monitor with G-Sync and HDR. I would gladly pay $2,000 for that. Paying $2,000 for those monitors that Asus and Acer show off, it's not worth it. They're still LCD monitors at the end of the day. It's not an improvement. It's not enough of an improvement. This looks very Aliens-esque. Mixed in with a little bit of StarCraft. Like some of the stuff looks like Zerg. It looks a little bit slow paced though. Genesis Alpha 1. Oh, it's made by well, published by Team 17.
If you didn't catch the pre-show quiz, you might be wondering who my buddy is. Well, this,
yeah, Josh, I got the one.
Is Webster from Drake's Cakes, one of the PC Gaming Show's sponsors this year. And he's got a cool competition for you.
Go Drake.
The Drake's Cakes PAX giveaway. Oh, yes. PAX is a gathering of PC and tabletop games, concerts, panels, exhibits, and
oh, yeah, we know what PAX is.
It's like a 4-day LAN party, festival, workshop, and concert rolled into one. The very lucky winner will enjoy a trip to PAX West, including 2 tickets and a free trip to Seattle. So if that's you, hit me up on those dates, because I am free. Webster, my man,
got you,
this
Frankie.
is very generous of you indeed. And by entering, guys, you will get a discount code to get your hands on some delicious Drake's Cakes available on Amazon. And if you're at E3 itself, don't forget you can meet Webster in person at the E3 Concourse Walkway, where he'll be giving away
I realize
swag and tasty
that they have to
treats.
do this to help fund the show.
Give him a fist bump on my behalf. I'll take one now. Thank you very much, Webster. So, if you have ever dreamt of spending a weekend knee-deep in one of Earth's best gaming festivals, visit pcgamer.com/Drake's Cakes and enter now for a chance to win and hang out with Webster. All right, Webster, all this hosting has got me a bit peckish. How about we look at a trailer for the next edition of Clay Entertainment's beloved survival series, Don't Starve, Hamlet.
Oh, I thought they were going to say a new trailer for their next installation of their next reveal of the Drake's Cake family line. I know people who love Don't Starve. Not my kind of game. Guy got ganked by a pig. A fucking pig in a party hat. Saved a pig. Oh, of course Rage 2 is coming to PC, Josh. Day one. It's absolutely coming to PC. Rage 2 is coming to PC, Xbox One, and PS4. All on the same day.
Our next title is the next installment in a series that never fails to make me laugh. It's Just Cause 4, and they have a brand new engine to bring the level of delicious insanity one notch up. Let's take a look at what the Apex engine in Just Cause 4 can really do.
I'm not a huge fan of the Just Cause games. I bought Just Cause 3 about a week ago because it was on sale on Steam. I bought it for like €5 or €6. No intention of ever playing it. I might get around to it, but unrivaled draw distance. HDR lighting. Not to be confused with actual color gamut HDR. I mean, HDR lighting has been around since Half-Life 2 Lost Coast. I will say that they did show a couple of things off earlier today in the Square Enix conference with this game that you can do with the the grapple thingies or whatever they are. Now, the big question is, will this game be optimized like absolute shit, like Just Cause 3 was?
Joining me to talk about it on stage now,
some good old Square Enix
from Avalanche
boys.
Studios, it's Francesco Antolini and Adam Davidson. Gentlemen, welcome. Talk to me about the tornado.
It's fantastic, isn't it? So it's a very nice piece of tech. It's not just beautiful, but thanks to Apex, it's also a bad boy that actually works. It's fully physicalized.
Yeah.
This means that it's roaming the world, wreaking havoc, and
it's not just like a background piece. It's actually impacting the world before you.
This is just cause, man. You go there and you play with it. Yeah.
You go there, you play with it. Yeah,
you know throughout the trailers that I've seen, it seems to be a lot of different environments that are available.
I will say in the Square Enix one they showed off earlier,
one of the
a lot of the weather-based stuff did look like the impressive gimmick for the game.
That extends to a lot of things, but certainly the biomes of the game. So instead of one kind of region of, like, say, southern Italy, like we had last time, now you have lush rainforests, deserts,
big dust clouds,
grassland,
dust storms,
and even alpine biomes, all of which are rendered beautifully with the new Apex engine.
Now, something that's very important to me.
It probably would if it was PC exclusive. It would have been more advanced, and they wouldn't have had to shoehorn in the other stuff.
Grappling hooks, like, are those coming back in Just Cause 4?
Everything you love from Just Cause 3 is back.
Good.
But everything is also just better. There's more to do, more to discover. For example, the grappling hook is completely customizable. The combat model has been completely reworked, redesigned, enhanced, so new weapon, new enemies, new AI. We've got extreme weather. that interacts with grappling hook and parachute.
The wind that we saw from the tornadoes, is just like basic wind effects also get incorporated as well?
Again, it just goes, so nothing, just an effect. So if there is wind, it's physics and acts with your parachute, grappling hook, and the rest. Yeah.
Well, where can people go to get some?
Where can people go to find out more?
Of what Just Cause 4
Please press my face to find out more.
justcause.com/E3 and for 3 days.
That's right. Believe it or not, E3 hasn't started yet.
Yeah, that's weird. All the shows.
June 12th through 14th. You can check it out. Thanks so much for joining us on stage. I look forward to the hilarity of Just Cause 4. Now, our next title is one of my all-time favorite IPs. I can't wait for Frankie to talk to you about The Walking Dead.
Oh, The Walking Dead. Which one is this going to be, though?
Overkill Software and Starbreeze are the creators of Payday and Payday 2.
Oh, it's
Therefore, it goes without saying that these studios are some of the most talented makers of cooperative shooters, and their next one is set in a familiar but new apocalyptic Washington, D.C. Here's the first gameplay footage for Overkill's The Walking Dead, and keep your eyes peeled for the release date at the end.
Ooh, release date. World exclusive. Plus release date. I know they've been showing a lot of this stuff off for this game. Like, they've been introducing new characters in different trailers and whatnot. You have to wonder about it, because if it's made by the same people who made Payday...
We were so many things.
So many people that think that's good.
Doctors and teachers, writers and architects. But when the world ended, all that ended too.
That sounds so bad. What I should have said, or the better way to word it, was there's so many people out there that enjoy those games.
Every day we fight for more than survival. We fight to build a new life.
So it's The Walking Dead meets Left 4 Dead meets Payday.
Alone, we're weak. But together, we might stand a chance.
It's a lot of zombies. Overkill's The Walking Dead. November 6th and November 8th.
And I have more good news for fans of The Walking Dead. Overkill's game for The Walking Dead, of course, coming soon, but we have a second completely different Walking Dead game that we're getting the chance to talk about right now. This is Telltale's The Walking Dead, the final season. Joining me on stage to talk about it is the lead writer, James Windler,
It'll be like
and
Saw.
the voice of Clementine herself,
oh, Clementine.
Melissa Hutchison.
It's weird to see Clementine as someone who's not a little girl.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Now, I want to ask
I think she has the Clementine hair.
People who've played through the first 3 seasons of The Walking Dead, in terms of the gameplay, what's some of the familiar and what's some of the new?
I played the first 2.
Okay, so for people who don't know
then I said,
Telltale,
fuck Telltale.
We are a story-based company. We focus on narrative. We've had our roots in the old-school point-and-click adventure games, but we've developed our own cinematic style and almost a signature mechanic, like our choice wheel.
Yeah.
And that's all familiar. That should, the choices branch the narrative.
She's much older anyway.
What's new this year? We have traditionally like combat and action. We've done with QTEs and like swipes and button mashes and all of that. This year, with the final season, we're introducing segments of unscripted combat.
Yeah, we see some of this right here.
Yeah. So Clem's
that's a little bit different than what they had already. I know you said they're introducing them, but
Of course she is.
And oh yeah, so we also have like the orbital cam, like the over-the-shoulder camera. So that's like offering our players opportunities to explore our environments, which you can also see from the B-roll. Is like they're looking really, really good with this graphic black art style that we're employing.
Yeah, because in the previous games it was much more of a directed camera from scene to scene, but now you can really sort of explore the environment on your own.
Absolutely, yeah, and yeah.
Now I want to ask
it does look
about
very different.
The story. I mean, Telltale games always have that as the central feature. Where does The Walking Dead, the final season, start off?
Okay, so it starts, Clementine has been on the road for a long time. We are post-time jump in the comics. She's been on the road, she's traveling
in the comic, what? Time
AJ,
jump?
Who is an orphan boy, who is the closest thing that she has to family. But they're reaching the end of it.
Is there a
like
comic
running out of steam on the road? It's
specifically with the Clementine story and the Telltale story?
The final season, Clementine discovers a school, a secluded school, where there are no adults, and essentially sees that this might be a place that they could call home.
Yeah, and what are the sort of challenges that she's going to face throughout the season?
Oh, all kinds of challenges, yeah. Like zombie threat all the time. Yeah, of course.
Zombies, really? I never would have guessed that was
an
actual threat.
Like at some point, there are going to be adults coming in representing external threats that she's going to have to deal with.
Now, Melissa, I want to ask what your experience has been like, because it's rare to have, a voice actress journey along with the character in a multi-year journey. I mean, how long ago was the first recording that you did?
Well, it was 2012, but we might have even started in 2011. I don't know.
We're not going to do math on air.
Yeah, we're
That's
not
always
doing
a
math.
bad idea.
That's not
So
happening
long
right
ago.
now.
Galaxy far,
it's
far
been
away.
a long time, and it's not only just playing one character, it's actually been aging with her, growing with her, and falling deeper and deeper in love with her, and starting as this young child who's, as playing as Lee, it's your job to protect her, and then organically moving through all these seasons, and now you're playing as Clementine. I mean, really, this is a fan-driven game, so this final season is for the fans, and you're going to be playing as Clementine and protecting
Guy in the middle
AJ,
looks so uncomfortable.
And,
what am I doing on stage? I'm just waiting him to be
How do
like,
you feel about the fact that this
what do I do with my hands?
Well, I mean, it's bittersweet. I'm super sad. I'm super psyched. Of course, it'll be sad to end her journey, but I'm really looking forward. Obviously, I'm surrounded by talent with Telltale Games, and I have no doubt that the writers and the creatives are going to crush it. So
I personally hate Telltale Games because they are now scum.
I'm a very confused human right now. Let's just put it that way.
Well, I'm someone who's played through all of the Telltale Walking Dead games. I would love to know when the final season is coming out.
August 14th. Yeah, we ship August 14th, and it's available for pre-order right now.
Could be Walking Dead is based on a comic.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much
I know
for joining me on stage today.
the normal Walking Dead is based on a comic. I actually read that comic, but I thought there might have been a separate one just for Clementine stuff that I wasn't aware of.
For our next title, Frankie, we're going to head back to you on the balcony.
Next up, have I got a treat for you. Coming straight out of Finland from Nolla Games, it's a magical action roguelike that asks,
and the
is
time...
that a wand in your pocket? Oh, you just trying to kill me.
Wow.
Don't let the retro art style fool you. Noita is set in a procedurally generated world where every pixel is physically simulated.
They're hitting like all the buzzwords here. Roguelike, procedurally generated, physical. What was it, like physical rendered, physically simulated. There you go. It's like, congratulations, you look like every other 8-bit art style game on Steam. Now I realize that is a whole other story when it comes to gameplay, but it definitely does look a lot more inventive than most of the other games. Especially in regards to like water and liquid physics. Wish this now on Steam. So it's not actually out yet. Okay.
Our next title is one that's very near and dear to my heart, as it is the spiritual successor to one of my favorite childhood games, Theme Hospital. Joining me to talk about it are the two founders of 2 Point Studios to talk about 2 Point Hospital. Join me in welcoming Dr. Webley and Dr. Carr.
This is going to be good. I'm looking forward to this game. I'll probably end up buying it. I love Theme Hospital. I still have my PS1
Great
copy.
Suits. I mean, I gotta ask, as two fully trained medical professionals, how does one run a hospital in 2 Point Hospital? What's going on with the mic?
Oh, whoa, what's going on with the mic? Let's go.
Wait, oh my gosh, is the stethoscope eliminating your microphone? Oh, you know what?
That's amazing.
We do this every year. Come here, talk to me.
Okay.
How do we run a hospital?
So 2 Point Hospital is a game about designing...
That was brilliant. What's going on with the mic? What's going on with the mic?
Your own hospital. It's
that was fantastic.
Yeah, you said don't talk there.
Yeah.
I got to look out here, you said.
Yeah, no, just look straight at the ground.
There's a lot of customization. This
is brilliant.
It's not working at all.
Yeah, it's great.
Doing great. Carry on. I'll carry on then. Yeah, a lot of customization, a lot of interesting characters in our world, which with all these different characters, we had to come up with some really interesting illnesses and cures for them. And you have fun in 2 Point County exploring different regions and curing.
Oh, he's getting like a jab in the arse.
And as you can see on the screen, we've got. This is real. We actually researched this. It's a certain enema, and also you can train people.
It basically is just
nurses to be better,
a more
do research, so
refined and updated version of Team Hospital.
You know, saying everything, isn't it?
Sorry, I didn't know your mic was working. I was backfilling. Carry on.
So I mean, tell me about it. Like, what is the sort of late game? Sort of experience that you'll be playing through, because this looks like it's quite deep into the running of a hospital.
Yeah, this is later on. So you start off and you're researching.
That guy have no head. Oh no, okay, he is.
You're diagnosing illnesses.
Very small
and,
head.
You're hopefully curing them and making money, and then heading off.
I see this malady. Yeah, I see this malady called turtle head. Can you explain a little bit about what that is?
Yes. It's when the head becomes so shrunken. It gets stuck in the neck orifice, just pops out slightly, and it has to be extracted.
Totally legit.
Mark, how's it get extracted?
This is something you've maybe we've all been there. I know.
Oh God! It worked.
A little bit of suction always helps, and
and
he's gone.
And out it comes.
And it cost him 10 grand.
Now I had to research how to do that.
That's actually a real illness.
It is. It's real.
England.
Now, I had to ask about something that I think every young man has to deal with at some point. What is a monobrow infestation?
Yeah.
Well, we all know. Well, I'm good,
is,
but
follically enhanced.
Yes.
Problem. We've all been there.
Yeah. I haven't.
No. Okay.
No, me neither. I'm good.
Yeah, it needs to be diagnosed and cured pretty quickly. If it doesn't, it'll fester, and you might shed a bit of hair. And in fact,
it will actually leave the body, and it needs to be.
It's trying to get onto someone else.
Inspectors arrive.
What the
hell? It looks like the monobrows are multiplying in the hospital.
They breed they're big breeders. The monobrows.
They like
monobeasts.
They like dirty places. Disgusting. So you've got to keep your hospital clean and well maintained.
Kill streaks and everything.
Otherwise,
you have to manually do it.
Breed, and you'll have a trouble.
I want to ask about sort of how the game evolves over time, because Theme Hospital was very mission-based. How does the experience of running a hospital change?
I assume this would be very similar.
Yeah, so once you started your first hospital, it's a pretty simple affair, and then you move on through 2 Point County. There's different regions. There's a cold region. There's warm regions with contagious diseases. And, there's
poor regions, there's rich regions.
Yeah. So we've got volcanoes.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of wonderful, weird effects.
What's wrong with the mic? What's wrong with the mic?
So you might struggle to manage your hospital empire.
That's my new meme.
The volcano went off nearby.
Yeah, it's about spinning plates, isn't it? You've got everything set up nicely, and then
something happens.
Thrown at you. So.
Well, I'd love to know more information about when 2 Point Hospital is coming out.
It's later this year, isn't it?
Well, we're coming out to fall. And you can check us out by going onto our Steam page and hopefully wish listing. And we're coming later in the year.
We're told.
Yeah, I remember. I'm pretty sure they gave a release date on.
Well, I'm personally again
on
really
Twitter
looking
from
forward to
Sega.
it coming out. Thanks so much for joining me, Doctor and Doctor.
Thank you.
Talk about 2 Point Hospital. Now, our second Battle Royale game of the afternoon takes a fantasy RPG-esque bent, and you may have even seen it getting streamed on Twitch in the previous week. Let's take a look at Hi-Rez's Realm Royale.
Oh, I was going to say Radical Heights. I only ever heard of this game about like 2 days ago. Someone told me that Steam was actually like putting streamers and stuff on like the top of product pages, and I was like, wait a minute, I've never seen anything like that. So he just told me to look for Realm Royale, and I went and looked, and yeah, straight away you go into the top page and they were just there right on top.
Joining me to talk about Realm Royale is the executive producer
Cliffy
at
B.
Hi-Rez Studios. It's Rory Newbro, a.k.a. Dry Bear. Mr. Dry Bear, what separates Realm
That
Royale
forehead, though.
from other types of battle royale games in the genre?
It's a good question. So before you go up into the air to determine where you land on the map, you'll actually choose from a list of fantasy classes like mage or hunter or assassin and specify a unique play style before you land.
How do these different classes work?
So the engineer will be more about bunkering down,
Did he say
putting up
engineer?
shields,
I don't think he did.
turrets. The assassin will get behind the lines using stealth, use a sniper rifle to take out targets, and the warrior will just jump in there throwing axes and being crazy.
And, you know, in some of the streams that I've watched, it also seemed like there were abilities, not just the loot and find stuff. Can you talk to me about how the ability mechanics work?
Once you choose a class, it'll come with a set of abilities, and you'll actually be upgrading these during the match, but it specifies your play style. And so as you're looting, abilities as well as armor and
oh, what up, Kai? Welcome, welcome.
Okay.
You'll start equipping that and determining the play style you want, and so you can just
missed
really
some
specify.
interesting
And,
stuff and some questionable
this
stuff.
a little bit. I've seen it on stream. Talk to me about
That's
crafting
chicken gun.
in the game. I mean, how does crafting work in a game
He
where
had a
there's
chicken gun.
a constantly shrinking play circle?
We're really excited about this. So strewn across the map, there are places called forges, and so once you go to the forge, you'll collect
What the hell is
shards
up
of
with the chicken
disenchanting
gun,
loot
though?
you find as you're going about. And you'll use these shards to start crafting legendary gear.
I really
very
hope it's
powerful
called something
pieces
like
that
a
everyone
cook
loves.
gun or
Once
something
you
like
start
that.
the forge, a smokestack will appear above the forge, and everyone comes over to
It's like
fight.
a mini objective, even.
Big team fight.
So I know that Realm Royale is currently available for free on Steam, but I hear that you have some goodies people can check out that are E3
Oh, when you
exclusive.
die, you
So
become a
free
chicken.
on
Okay,
Steam, we're
that's
actually
what it
out for
was.
less than a week now,
I thought
and
it was
we're
a
already
gun that
number
specifically
4 on
turned
Steam
people into a
charts.
chicken.
And this week at E3, through Mixer, if you stream on Mixer and you're playing, the streamer that gets closest to the Crown Royale will enter into the hype zone, and so everyone will see you on. You'll be featured on the main page of Mixer. And you'll have a chance to
Hype
win the
zone.
jailbird chicken skin, which is our first piece of cosmetic. It's a little chicken with like a little jailbird, like prisoner outfit, and just box around. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and if you don't know the chicken mechanic, seriously, please look it up right now. Rory, thanks so
Well,
much
there
for
you go.
joining me
He
on
talked
stage to
about the
talk
chicken
about
mechanic.
Realm Royale. Once
Thanks,
again, it's for free on Steam right now. Our next game is one that was shown at last year's PC gaming show, and Frankie has some updates of what they've been up to.
Yes, John, as you may remember, our next game is made by a core team of just 2 people. It's called Ooblets, and it's
Ooblets, I
farming and
remember
creature
this.
collecting indie inspired by Pokemon, Harvest Moon, and Animal Crossing.
Some girl showed this
fresh
off.
trailer features a first look at their unique combat system, along with plenty of cute Ooblets and environments. Let's take a gander.
I could have sworn it was just one person though, rather than 2. But I remember this. I was actually just talking to someone about this game a few days ago. They didn't watch the PC gaming show last year, and she was in love with Ooblets. Oh, here we go. Breakdance battle. What's the move? What is it? Parappa Ooblets? When you become a chicken... Oh, the chicken is a respawn timer. So it's not a single life battle royale game, is it? Not Ooblets, obviously, the other one. This reminds me of Pikmin / Pokemon. With a little bit of Animal Crossing thrown in there. With all the decorations. A little bit of The Sims. A lot of dancing involved in this game. Of course, the game is a complete failure if you can't do the robot. Coming to PC and Xbox One.
Now, it wouldn't be a PC gaming show without a dash of strategy, which is why I'm delighted that we get the chance to share with you the next in the Anno games. Let's take a look.
Oh, the
at
Anno games. I haven't played them, but I hear they're very popular. It's been a couple of years since we've had another one. I think it's maybe like 3 or 4 years since I remember seeing a new one on the front page of Steam. Save fatal damage. Oh, okay, so it's basically... I won't call it sudden death. That's not right, but it's like a last chance kind of thing almost. Anno 1800 AD. Wait, they usually have AD in the title.
Joining me on the stage to talk about it is the
at
executive producer, Burkhard Rathheiser, and community developer, Bastian Thun.
Boo, Ubisoft, boo.
Gentlemen, welcome to the stage. I want to begin right away by asking, you know, for people who haven't seen or experienced the Anno series, what are these types of games like?
Yeah, well, Anno 1800 is a PC only real-time strategy game.
Of course it is. Console players don't play real-time strategy games.
City building together with economic simulation and naval warfare. And at its core, it's a sandbox game. So
I can never remember if these games involve like proper technological progress or not.
To explore the world and build huge cities.
And I wonder if you could talk to me a little bit about why the choice of the 19th century for this game.
Well, the 19th century, it's such an interesting and rich era. There was so much happening in this era. Yeah. So we had two industrial revolutions. We had major scientific inventions. And also big social changes.
Oh, that's true. You can manage
to of the big imperial empires.
To actually survive really and come back and hopefully get some revenge.
What are some of the elements that we'll get to see from the 19th century in Anno 1800?
So it's kind of for the player. It's well, basically you start with the first
reminds me of Black
kind
and
of
White
medieval settlements, and then it's a kind of a journey through the 19th century. So it's a kind of you explore everything that kind of happened in this rich.
So it does
era.
go through the technological progress aspect.
That you have a very unique take on how to work with the community, how to gather feedback. I was wondering if you could talk to me about
the trees and
what
forest
is
and grass and all looks
Anno
really good.
Union.
So last year at Gamescom, when we actually revealed the game, we decided on, you know what, it's pre-alpha, we revealed the game. We invited the community to basically become a member of our development team. So we launched our Anno Union platform. It's a place where we give constant weekly updates on the current development and invite players to give feedback and basically help us developing the game.
Can you give me like an example of exactly how some choices have been steered by the community?
So there's a lot of different stuff we did. So like from the feedback we got on our blogs and focus playtests where invited players, we got so much great feedback, which had to completely rebalance the mid and late game of the game. Also, we heavily
I mean, to an extent, it's good that they're doing that they're actually taking on fan feedback and using that.
That really seems to work. Players like that, so okay, let's do it, like improve the quality a little bit even more.
Yeah.
But they can also vote on actual game content. So we had a big vote for an AI opponent in the game.
Balance is a big thing for companies with those problems.
And I understand that some of this footage that you're sharing right now is pieces that people can go to anno-union.com and vote on right now.
Exactly. So right, just
that
in time
looks
for
cool,
E3,
the warship.
You can go to anno-union.com, check out. We have a vote up where you can vote on one of 5 ships in the game. And that's only the first stage, because in the second stage, we will allow you to design your own ship variant. So the winner of that first vote,
the second
then you
one
can
looked the
design,
best.
hand in your own design nodes, drawings, 3D models, whatever you like. And the winner of that contest will actually make it into the game.
Now, where is the website that people can go to again to get the most information right now?
It's his usual go-to site.
anno-union.com.
What can people go to find out more? Press my face to find out more.
Especially strategy gamers, PC players out there to come help us developing the game, sharing feedback. Just check it out.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining me on stage to talk about Anno 1800. Our next title is the final battle royale of the night, and Frankie is going to be talking about it, and it's a little
more
bit,
battle royale.
Maybe not what you'd expect.
Publisher tinyBuild is known for discovering distinctive indie developers and bringing their quirky ideas to the fore, with Cluster Truck, Speedrunners, and Hello Neighbor among their catalogue of hits. And now I'm delighted to be able to bring you the world-exclusive reveal of a game developed by Galvanic Games in cooperation with Explosion. Inspired by the Cyanide and Happiness webcomic, Rapture Rejects is battle royale as you've never seen one before, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not. Top down, isometric, cartoony, and basically bonkers. Let's take a look at what happens when the man upstairs makes an epic fail and only beams up the bad people. Introducing Rapture Rejects.
Is this a top-down battle royale game? That's going to look like Cyanide and Happiness from the top. That would be really weird.
Dear God, every day I strive to be closer to your light.
Go ahead, back.
I pray that when Judgment Day, that most holiest of days, comes upon us, when you bring all the good people to heaven, that I may live in eternal glory by your side. Amen.
It's funny, a friend of mine sent me a Cyanide and Happiness comic before. It was one of the video ones. It's called It's a Bitch Ass Life. And he just said, I found a comic about you. And I looked at it, and I was in bits laughing because it's basically me. Oh, here we go. People are getting raptured. But why isn't he getting raptured? Spoiler alert. The rapture is not real. The other guy's can't get raptured through the ceiling.
Thanks, bruh.
Thanks, bruh. So all the good people are freaking out and going all Sodom and Gomorrah up in this bitch. What? Rapture rejects. So it's more of a twin stick battle royale. You can see where you're aiming with the stick and all that.
Harold! Get down here this instant! You didn't wake the leaves! Smell you later, you old
So much for all the bad people going. That looked kind of cool.
I can't believe we got to show that trailer. That's so great. Our final game that we will be showcasing this evening is from perhaps the most famous stealth action franchise in gaming, the Hitman series. Let's take a look at a
Where's our
brand new
fucking
trailer from Hitman 2.
Right, this is so much bullshit on so many levels. 1. Hitman 2 already exists. It was made like nearly 20 years ago. 2. Where the hell is our
Miami, 47.
Halo 5?
The innovation race is on its last day, and it is down to the wire. The Providence defectors are Robert and Sierra Knox. A day of high-octane thrills and 2 very public targets.
So don't forget, this is no longer a Square Enix franchise. When they sold off IO Interactive, they retained IO Interactive retained the rights to this. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do without beating with a fish. Death by frying pan, cybernetic arm, and is that a potato? You sure this isn't? You sure this isn't actually Dead Rising? Hey, look, another game that's not coming to Switch.
Joining me to talk about Hitman 2 is game director from IO Interactive, Jacob Mickelson. Join me up here, Jacob. Come on out, we gotta talk.
So I could be very, very disappointed here and very, very angry.
Welcome, Jacob. Thanks for joining me. I mean, right away, tell me, what is Agent 47 doing in Miami?
Well, he's there to pay a visit to Sharon Robert Knox, who are part of the Kronstadt Empire. And yeah, we all know how that ends, right?
Well, given that it's a Hitman game, I have some hints. And, you know, I always felt like in the Hitman games, the environment was so critical, trying to study and trying to understand it. What are some of the elements in Miami that will show up in Hitman 2?
It'd be cool to see what they can do with
Miami
environmental kills and
one of the
stuff.
biggest events we've ever created in the game, and in Miami we have, of course, the race as the centerpiece.
Yeah.
But being this super high detailed sandbox, we also go to great lengths to actually create all the surrounding bits and pieces, like you have here, backstage area. Of course, we also have that in Miami. So pits and paddocks, there's an emergency room, and so on. So all the facilities needed in order for you to kind of make your own way through the mission and
you
take advantage of the locations.
probably do all sorts of
and all the
funky,
different disguises and
magical
items you
kills with
stumble
them too.
upon
Creative as
to
fuck.
move in closer to your targets.
And in terms of mechanics, I know that there's going to be a lot of the familiar feels, but what are some of the brand new mechanics that are in Hitman?
Yeah, some of the new stuff is, for instance, the crowds we just saw here in Miami. First of all, there's more than ever.
Yeah,
we're close to 2,000 people now in the scenes. And on top of that, we also introduced a new crowd mechanic where you can dip into the crowd if you get in trouble. So as long as they are not fleeing or running away, then they're there for you to hide in, so in case you get chased by guards. Another new thing is the picture-in-picture mechanic where you get information about what's going on other places in the level. So if you're setting up traps and stuff
well,
like that,
other games have used picture-in-picture before. Metal Gear Solid 2 was a big example.
But not least, we have the fan favorite, which is the sniper briefcase is back. But this time it's not only for sniper rifles, it's also for all the other things you want to carry around kind of without causing too much attention to yourself.
And I want to ask about some of the weapons and the disguises that have been showing up throughout these trailers.
Yeah, we go to great lengths. I think the theme of this showing is going to be the fish. It's really it's a studio favorite. We're having a
fish
lot of
decided to head dead by fish.
Right? And then of course you just saw it in the kitchen as a frying pan. So we all know the kitchen is the most dangerous room in your house, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah, of course.
Also counts in Hitman.
And I want to ask about some of my favorite content from Hitman, things like elusive targets, limited time events. Will those be making a comeback?
Absolutely. So there's still going to be escalations for you to kind of challenge the game in many different ways. There's going to be challenge packs, again, new challenge for you. And then, of course, the elusive targets that pop up for a short period of time only. And you have one shot at this or, go bust.
As my final question, the expected question. When does Hitman 2 come out?
It's later this year, isn't it?
It comes out November 13, and if you pre-order right now, you also get access to a new game mode called Sniper Assassin, where you get to play as Agent 47, and also, for the first time in the franchise, you can play along with a friend in the co-op mode.
Didn't they have the Sniper Assassin thing in the previous one when you pre-ordered that?
Hitman 2.
The episodic one? Because I know this one's not episodic.
I might be the worst Hitman ever, but I try hard. Now, Jacob, I'm going to thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm going to escort you off to the right. So you're going to rush off this way, because coming in from the left, for the first time ever, vaguely nearby me, it's the co-host, Frankie. Come here, Frankie.
They let me come down from the balcony for good behavior.
Excellent. Well, Frankie, we did it. The PC Gaming Show is done. Thank you so much for joining us to host this year.
Thank you.
No.
Thanks for having me, guys.
This
Thanks
isn't
for all
okay.
of you who came out to the Wiltern and joined us today. It was a blast. Thanks to Twitch chat.
I have a big problem that we're going to get to know in a minute.
And intelligently thought out. And of course, this year we're curating even more great PC games from the Facebook booth in E3 South Hall. Last, and of course not least, a huge thank you to all our wonderful sponsors who let the PC Gaming Show come back for a 4th straight year. They are Hi-Res Studios, Digital Extremes, Archangel Hellfire, Team 17, Stardock Entertainment, Acer, Predator, Improbable, Oculus Rift, Drake's Cakes, Tripwire, Frontier Developments, and Square Enix. We hope you have a wonderful E3 and go play some damn video games. Cheers.
So, I am a little upset right now. My jimmies are a little bit rustled. Let me take this off. So my jimmies are a little bit rustled, and you may be wondering why. Well, I had personally hyped something up because of something I thought was a leak, because of something I found earlier, which I'm going to show you guys right now if you didn't see it earlier. So, that's the wrong one. I found this earlier. I took this picture and I cropped this myself from the official Microsoft Xbox website regarding Halo 5 Guardians. And look at the bottom, what it says there. Exclusively on Xbox One and Windows 10. Now that has since been changed. I took this picture about 5 or 6 hours ago. Actually, it's probably more because it was 5 or 6 hours ago when the stream started. But I took this and I was expecting this to be announced and released on this show. We got nothing. This has since been changed and it now no longer says exclusively on Xbox One and Windows 10, but the rest of it is still the same. So, Microsoft, what the fuck? Hit me up with them deets, because I expected this, because it was on your website. It's on the official Microsoft website. It's not like it would have been easy to fake. It's not like this kind of thing would accidentally get up there. There's a reason why this exists, and there's a reason why this happened. Why was it not at the PC Game Show? Because the Microsoft stuff is over. So, I'm a little bit disappointed. That's all I can say. Now, other than that, some of the other good stuff we saw in this presentation was actually decent. There was some stuff that I wasn't interested in. There was some stuff that was brand new that I kind of am interested in. There's some stuff that changed my mind from, well, let's call it questionable, to this could be good. Especially that one at the start with the, oh, it's called Satisfactory. That looks good. But anyway, it's good to know that this OBS setup works and that I can stream it all properly and whatnot. And I can't even remember my quick keys for it now, so I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. But as it stands for the moment, the PlayStation conference is on in just over an hour. We're looking at about 70 minutes. Well, Kai, I would never do that on purpose. You know, Microsoft may be spreading the misinformation and leaving it all to us, but that's a whole other story. But for the moment, I'm going to take a little bit of a break because, well, 70 minutes, you know, I can find something to do in the meantime. So until then, I want to thank everyone for joining me here, shooting the shit, keeping the PC gaming show going as we do. Hopefully you enjoyed at least some of the announcements on there. I know I did, and even if everything isn't for me, I realize that everything isn't for everyone, but everything should be for me because, well, it's me, you know. But unfortunately, we have no Halo thing just yet. But until then, I will see everyone in about an hour, because naturally I'll run a little bit of a stream beforehand. And I will see you guys for the Sony show. Peace out, guys, and I'll see you in an hour, or give or take. Laters.